Welcome back to Sports on Tap. I'm your host, James Laney, with my co-host, Kyle Johnson.
Hello.
And my co-host, Ryan Fahey.
Take longer to speak.
I was just say the electric pause. Not electric. I don't know. Anyway, but breaking news that the Boston Celtics, for some ungodly reason, are interested in trading for 76ers Ben Simmons, and the trade has to include Jaylen Brown for it to happen. Take the floor, boys.
This literally just, like 8 minutes ago this was tweeted?
Probably about.
Bro, I swear to God, not only do I not want Ben Simmons, not only do I not think it's a downgrade, what other, even just trying to wrap my head around, what other assets would Philly include? There's got to be something else.
They want to get rid of him, so, I mean, they need at least Jaylen Brown.
Because no.
What else
Philly
would we get?
Include?
What else would Boston get?
There's nothing.
The first round picks would have to be included.
Tyrese Maxey, I want him.
First round draft picks would have to be included.
Yeah, I want like two but the 76ers is going to be like, no, we want if the Celtics, first off, the Celtics do this trade, I'm done. I'm literally not watching the rest of the season. He's a whiny, spoiled brat who shows no interest in even wanting to help his organization win. So, I'm over it. He can complain all he wants. The 76ers have the best offense in basketball right now. Literally, look it up. They're clearly better without him. Or, they clearly built a phenomenal team around him, and he still wants to whine and complain. So it's like, why anybody even wants to trade for him right now, especially Boston, beyond me.
What I find interesting, I mean, last week we were literally talking about, hypothetical, if you had to trade Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, who would you give up? And we're all like, Tatum, because you'd get more for it. Not that I'd give up Tatum for Simmons. Clarifying that right now. But why are we moving on from our best player right now? Right now who's playing the best basketball for the Celtics? For, like you said, a guy that just does not care. A guy that practiced with the 76ers in sweatpants and a phone in his back pocket. Yeah, what true value does he bring? I'm not saying he's the worst basketball player of all time or something, but the guy just does not.
That's the guy.
He doesn't care.
Our locker room is clearly struggling right now. There's clearly something going on with the team.
It's been going on for 3 years.
Of course. But you're going to bring in that guy to help fix that problem? Are you shitting me?
That's not a leader. He's not a leader in any aspects that I can think of.
I'm literally aggravated. The fact that this even it hasn't even happened, and I'm beyond aggravated.
The only thing I can see about it is, like you said last week, is if we had take out, let's say, for some reason he gets this motivation of hey, I want to try. If we could keep Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and you put him at point guard, he's still a good playmaker.
Oh, if you can keep Jaylen
Brown, I'm not totally against it.
This is a different topic.
Only because now you have a playmaker at point guard who's not shoot first. Clearly everyone knows that because the guy doesn't shoot. I'm still not a fan of this trade, but if you don't have to give up Jaylen Brown, if you can give up some other young talents that not named Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, I would move on from Marcus
I'll give
Smart.
You Romeo Langford in 2 seconds.
Oh my God. I would give you him. I would give you Grant Williams. I just do.
Go ahead.
Goodbye. But clearly they're not. The 76ers want high value. If we could get Ben Simmons for low value, then that's totally different because it's why not try it out? Then you have 3 young players, say they do work cohesively, and Ben Simmons is not a shooter, so why not?
Keep in mind, we can't trade Marcus Smart till the 25th of January because of his extension.
That's
so.
Well, what else do the 76ers have? What options do they have?
I'm actually, before we go any further, I don't hate it.
Jaylen Brown?
I don't hate it.
Ben Simmons?
I don't hate it.
Explain.
I'll take literally what
Hold on, let him explain.
Something needs to change.
Not that.
Something does. I don't hate it.
Give me one positive.
Better ball movement, because right now we're just ISO, and there's zero structure to this offense. Zero.
Literally, give you ball movement.
Number 0. It's awful. There's no ball movement. It's and we
don't have a point guard. I understand, Ben. Not for Jaylen Brown.
I don't hate it.
I would not want to do a straight up trade for Brown and Simmons.
I wouldn't have it straight up either.
We would have to get...
There's more upside on Brown's part that we get more probably... We actually probably would get more for Brown, to be honest, in this trade.
The only way I could ever see anything... 76ers would have to give up Simmons, Maxey. I want 2 firsts. But then they will never do that. They still think Ben Simmons is an all-star. His value is at, all-star caliber player.
He's not.
Which his skill is probably still there, but his value, not even close.
The only positive I see giving Jaylen Brown up is, like we talked about last week, well, now you know who the leader is. There's no, oh, is it Tatum? Is it Brown? It's clearly Brown. It's clearly would be Tatum if Brown was shipped off. Because Simmons comes in, he's clearly not that guy. I don't think he's going to try to be that guy. But I don't even think Tatum's that guy as a leadership role. That's why I would rather keep Brown. Once again, I don't want to trade Tatum.
Tatum's having a rough whatever. Okay, like I think he's too talented not to figure it out. I think he'll eventually start to even out for the rest of the season. I don't hate the no ball movement. I know something needs to change, but Jaylen Brown has been nothing but efficient his entire career. He's a great defender. He's only improved. He has only improved every single year in the league. As a scorer, he's gotten more dynamic. He's gotten bigger, more physical. Like he has been. He's a guy. Like when you look at Jaylen Brown's career so far, that's exactly how you want to see a lot of these players progress. You see what they are. You have like their what they come out of college as, the things they need to work on, and Jaylen Brown has clearly gotten better. We talked about this before with Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons has come into the league exactly as one of the most talented prospects we've ever seen, and his talent level has completely stalled. It has stayed right there. I don't want the guy who's not fucking progressing. Like, I get what he brings, but I think especially in a locker room, in a very team-oriented sport, as basketball is, I think he's a cancer. I don't think he brings anything of value to a locker room. But there's no denying his skills on a basketball floor.
I would give up Marcus Smart, some young players, and even a first-round pick just so we can keep Jaylen Brown, because we don't need these first-round picks.
Well,
here's
anymore. Here's the thing. They do know they can't trade Smart till the 25th.
Yeah, I know you just said that, and I should have remembered.
They know they can't trade him till then. They're going to use that as leverage. Because if the Celtics want him this bad, they're going to pry Jaylen Brown out there because be like, we'll send him somewhere else. We might send him to Brooklyn.
Why are they trying to get Jaylen Brown out of there, though?
Because their offense would be even better.
How? The dude averages 20 points a game. He's a 45% shooter.
You're talking about 76ers. I'm sorry.
Oh, the 76ers. Their offense would improve, obviously. I mean, they're adding Jaylen Brown, and it's not like you lose any offense already with Ben Simmons isn't playing, so of course they get better.
The only reason I think the Celtics want to try to get rid of Jaylen Brown is because everyone's been forcing Tatum to be the leader. So if you get rid of Brown, it's like now you have to be that guy because you don't have your partner in crime anymore. Which I know like that doesn't make sense, but from a locker room aspect, it's just like, bro, now there's no one else.
Tatum's still 24.
No, and I get
Brown
that.
is 25.
Like I want to keep them both. I'm not saying I don't want to get rid of Brown. I don't want to get rid of Tatum.
Way too early to get rid of these guys. Like this is probably going to be their prime. Like we still haven't seen it. Like Jaylen Brown, I think, can be a 22, 23 points per game scorer. It's super good efficiency. Can guard 4 positions. Like switch on to anybody other than center. And even and as a ball handler, as a facilitator, I think he's getting better. I think I understand bringing in Ben Simmons' talents would do nothing but improve the team. I agree. I mean, yeah, he doesn't spread the floor very well, but we have enough around him. And just as a facilitator, he can pass the ball. He can guard 1 through 5. Like
he just can't shoot out of 2 feet.
He's just, but we don't need that offense
with
him on the floor. But I only think we don't need that offense if we keep Jaylen Brown. Not to mention, I don't know what the market would be. I don't know if the Celtics would be giving more. I don't know if the Sixers would be giving more. But the way I see it, the Sixers better be giving up a ton of assets and Ben Simmons for Jaylen Brown.
I'm going to say, what's scarier, Jaylen Brown and Embiid or Tatum and Simmons? That's Jaylen Brown and Embiid.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
That's like, do you give Embiid Jimmy Butler? You bring back Jimmy Butler.
Mentality.
Not even that mentality. That's skill. They're very similar players.
What I don't
very
understand
comparable.
Is why would the Celtics want to get rid of a Get rid of a mature. Why would the Celtics want to get rid of a you totally just messed me up. You just messed with my flow. Why would the Celtics want to get rid of a mature man and a leader for a whiny little child?
Do we know for a fact he's not the problem in the locker room?
Simmons?
No.
Or who?
Brown.
Do we know that for a fact?
Well,
we don't know anything that's going on in the locker room.
That's my point.
they keep that in house.
And keep in mind,
That's what any smart team
taking-
does.
And keep in mind, we all know how smart Jaylen Brown is.
He's a very smart guy.
Absolutely. I
Probably
mean, like,
one of the smartest players in the NBA.
is what I mean. Like not basketball court wise. We're talking like
Regular
just,
IQ.
like IQ, just really smart. Do you think he carries that in the locker room? Like he knows that. Like he knows
So-
he's the smartest guy in the room.
This is a.
I
this is a
haven't
good
seen-
point because.
But we haven't seen anything to like sway that. Like he's never given a press conference where you're like, this guy's kind
He
of
was the
arrogant.
one, wasn't he the one throwing chairs in the playoffs?
I don't know.
Him and Marcus Smart got in not a brawl, but a fight. I don't know if they were throwing chairs. or
All
not.
I'm saying,
The only thing I could see.
I would love to blame Mark. Listen, if I had my way, I would go Marcus Smart first off this team. 10 out of 10. I'm not an idiot. Like, yeah. But if there's a reason. I mean, if it was that big of a problem, Marcus Smart was that big of a problem, and Brad Stevens knew that, who is now the GM, would have never gave the extension.
I don't know. I don't think Marcus Smart is the problem either. I don't think it's Jaylen Brown though.
Well, no, I understand what
I
you
don't
mean
know-
by like. So what you're saying about like Jaylen Brown being smarter, because you all know that one guy where it's like he is smarter. Like he clearly everyone knows this guy is smarter than everyone, just because you can kind of tell. But they also know it and let you know it. But I don't get that vibe from Jaylen Brown. But if he is that guy, because you know when you're hanging out at a party or just hanging out with
He seems like
people-
a humble dude.
Exactly. And you know those guys that aren't humble where it's just like, yeah, I'm smart, I know I'm smart, and everyone knows it, but it's like, okay, we don't need that, like, you don't
But
need
then
to
again-
keep rubbing
then
it in
again-
our face.
Then again, I think that's a mute point as far as like our outlook looking in, because I don't think there's been anything either way to sway. From what I've seen, he's just a normal dude. But like I don't like those problems. If say he is, there's nothing that we have that can point fingers at Jaylen Brown as far as like reasons to like why he would be a problem. And I don't think there's anything we have saying why he wouldn't be either. I think it's just very a neutral. I think it's something we can't assume.
I think there's
It's
a problem in the locker room, but nobody knows quite sure what it is. The
Well, we
chemistry
don't.
is just-
I mean, they do. Whoever's in the locker room does.
Well, that's smart. You keep it in house. You don't
Yeah.
let that out.
But-
Because then any trade value for anything is now leveraged against that, where it's like, we know that's the problem, whatever that is, but if you keep that in house, other teams can't know.
And also, who said? I'm sure it was the Sixers that were like, well, if we're going to do it, we want Jaylen Brown. Maybe they're just trying to set the bar high.
Oh, it was 100% the Sixers.
Clearly, because
Yeah.
it's not like the Celtics are like, we
So
want
they're probably
Simmons,
just
but
going
we
to be
have...
like Jaylen Brown, and then we're going to be like, fuck no, and they're going to be like, okay, like that's,
Honestly-
that's how I hope that goes. But I don't know. I don't know who's saying.
But we don't
No, 'cause
know.
I
We don't
think-
know what GM Brad Stevens is going to do because he's new to it.
Because I think Stevens going to it knew they were going to be asking for something like that. If he was interested, he knew they was going to be asking for something like that. So you wouldn't go into it be like, oh, they're probably just going to ask for like Langford and no.
Yeah.
Well, clearly you start high.
Well, yeah, the Sixers.
you start
the Sixers,
high.
Exactly.
they're both dug in, as far as like Simmons and the Sixers. They're both like we're not going to trade him unless we get comparable talent. And if you're the Sixers, I think that's a total bluff. Or if you're outside looking in, I think that's a total bluff because Ben Simmons has all the leverage. He's still getting paid. He can still work on his craft. Like he can still practice and whatnot.
He can.
He can. I don't know if he is, but
Well, he's been staying away from basketball because he's not mentally ready, and I'm not
Whatever.
going to step on
yeah,
that.
that's the
aspect.
guy I want to get rid of for Jaylen Brown. Like I don't get it. If this happens, I'm done watching the Celtics this year. I don't care what happens. Even if I'm dead wrong, even if they win, I don't think it's worth it. Like,
Well, if they win a
If they
chip,
win, it was
that's
100% worth it.
100% worth it.
bro, but if he gets it, if that guy gets a chip,
I don't
acting
think-
the
I
way
don't-
he did, like that's so disrespectful. I think to like everybody else in the league who works their ass off and shit, like should
Oh.
earn something like that.
Oh, I agree. I don't like the way going
fuck
about it.
that. I
No.
think that's horrible.
I 100% agree. It's the whole whining of like, I want it my way and this kind of thing. And I don't think that's the way it should go.
I understand too, like there are situations, but like, dude, that team is the number one offense in the league right now. And you were
76ers.
complaining about that team? You said they didn't build anything around you, dude? Like, are you kidding me? That team is disgusting without you.
I would just
Maybe
find,
you're the problem.
I would just find it so interesting how Ben Simmons and Tatum would work together because they
One
both.
guy doesn't want the ball. One guy only wants the ball.
What would be
Perfect.
interesting?
That's better than two guys wanting to get theirs.
So
Well,
you guard
the
one,
only
and you
interest-
double team one, you leave the other guy butt naked.
The
ball
only thing,
movement would then be created.
the only thing I would find interesting about it is like when you have two different mentalities of like the Jaylen Brown, hardworking kind of guy, and like get in your face, where Tatum is
That's the guy
more
you get rid of. Like,
no, but like, and Jason Tatum's more like the just kind of here to play basketball. Tatum and Simmons both give that vibe, so maybe chemistry wise, this is a maybe that would click better. I'm not totally sold on it, but what I'm just saying is when they're on the same brain waves of that, and I don't think that's the way to go. I would rather two Jaylen Brown mentalities.
Well, because listen, the problem is our offense is two guys that are so clearly trying to get theirs. It is so clear. It's Jaylen and Tatum, ISO ball the whole time.
Who's to say that's not the coach calling for those plays every game?
It's not.
How?
There's no way.
But it's still happening.
If that's the case, fire him now, because that's not basketball.
Agreed. I agree. I'm not saying our offense is good.
NBA, if that's the case. We shouldn't even sniff the NBA. Not even college. Go coach high school ball.
Yeah. No,
that's your game plan.
I agree.
It's a joke. But right now, it's Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, ISO ball. One guy wants to get theirs, and I don't think they're competing to make each other better. I think they're competing to prove they're better than the other person, which is just a recipe for disaster, and we're seeing it.
They both want to be superstars. They both want to be the man.
I can see that. They're both young and butting heads. Like, I can see that. I agree.
If they
then I think somebody like Al Horford should step up and be like, bro, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, let's win some basketball
guarantee
games.
you he is, and they're not listening to him.
Yeah.
Because they're young and stubborn.
Because it's not his team. It's their team.
Regardless, I don't think Ben Simmons is even if we broke it up and Jaylen, and say you're dead right, and Jaylen Brown's got to go, or one of them's got to go. And I agree. If that's the case, I think one of them has to go. I don't know. But Ben Simmons is not the guy, regardless of everything. I get he's on the block. I get he's probably the most available, and I get this is probably the cheapest you're going to get him. But for Jaylen Brown, Ben Simmons is not the answer. Ben Simmons is not equivalent talent, not even close. There's better you could do.
The only problem is we actually get a stud point guard.
I'd rather Marvin fucking Bagley.
That's interesting because no.
I would rather Marvin Bagley, and I think that is talent wise way worse than Ben Simmons.
The only thing I like about Ben Simmons is he's clearly not trying to be the man anywhere. He just wants to go play basketball. Where Tatum's like, I want to be the man. That's the only thing I can think about.
Spoiled. He's
no. I don't like Ben Simmons.
First of all, that's the whole younger generation of the NBA. You're not. That's not.
Yeah, but that's okay. Now that's
trait of Ben Simmons.
No, you can't. You can't say that. Though.
Yes, I can because it's true.
How?
What do you mean how?
How do you know that?
Every younger player forces their way out.
Every younger player.
Kyrie started the wave.
Okay, Kyrie's.
I know, and I shouldn't compare all the youth to Kyrie, but
that's unfair.
That's
unfair
all
to
spoiled.
That's unfair to the players who aren't though.
What, the three of them? Sorry,
give me names.
Are you serious? All of them, of the younger players.
Give me names
that are forcing their way out.
No, that are like creating this narrative that are just spoiled and what I like. How do we know that?
Brown.
Well, I think
absolutely.
I don't think it's. I think it's more the.
I don't think so though.
I think it's starting to seep down to the younger players because you see the guys like James Harden forcing their ways out, Kyrie Irving forcing their way out, things like that. And I'm not saying everyone's Kyrie Irving. I understand that.
The Players Association in the NBA has way more power than any other like players association in any other league.
100%.
So like that's where this is coming from. They have all the power. They're like, fuck you, we won't play. And they're like, well, what the hell? Like these organizations are like,
well, look at what Kawhi Leonard did when he was with the Spurs, and I get there's way more.
He's playing chess,
and I get that's a whole nother aspect of things. But like when he was with the Spurs, he goes, "Yeah, I'm done with this." And I understand there's medical reasons, but like there's a lot of guys that do it, and I think a lot of younger players are being like, "Oh, so if I whine and just don't play, I can get what I want." Yes, and I don't like that. I don't like that because it's ridiculous. It's the give me what I want. I'm entitled to it.
Exactly. Their whole life, they've heard nothing but yes.
And you're the man.
You say that we're the same age as these guys, you know, right?
Yeah, but we're not being told.
We're not 6'8" and have played basketball. And I'm 6'8" since 3 years old. Have played basketball our whole life through AAU, knowing that this kid is going to make millions of dollars.
If you get told you're the man your whole life,
the whole time, you are going to have this built up self I don't even know what word to say.
Narcissistic view, kind of?
Yeah.
So the thing is, imagine being told, you're the man, you're going to be that guy. And I'm not saying these guys don't work. I'm not saying they don't work.
No.
I'm not saying they don't work to be pro. I'm not
saying... You
can
throw away talent easily.
Clearly, I mean, so I'm not saying these guys don't deserve to be in the league and this and that, but when you're told you're the man, you're the number one guy, this and that your whole life.
Hasn't every player in the NBA heard that multiple times at any point in their life?
Yeah, no,
Exactly, but
it's
now
gotten worse
and look
because
at-
they've only seen this.
But now you're looking at the movement in the NBA, and it's starting to happen more. But that's obviously
I still don't think it's every player. I still think a lot of players are trying to build repertoire with their teams.
Damian Lillard.
Like, of course, Damian Lillard. He's the prime example.
I'll
though.
give you that, and we shouldn't say every player because you
It's
shouldn't
not
say
every player.
Nothing's 100%.
That's unfair.
I'll give
But
you
I
that.
think Ben Simmons. I think you don't give up a guy like Jaylen. The whole point of the whole thing is you don't give up a guy like Jaylen Brown for a guy like Ben Simmons.
The only thing I would like about the trade is the postseason matchups between Jason Tatum and Ben Simmons versus Jaylen Brown and Embiid would be
Yeah, it'd
amazing.
be a cool story until we
That
get
would
fucking
be
fleeced by 30
amazing.
points.
If those were actual good matchups, I think those playoffs could be exciting.
I don't think we make the playoffs with Ben Simmons. I get ball movement, but I
We
don't.
might not make playoffs with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
Agreed.
At this point.
And
So,
then then we blow it up, but not for Ben Simmons. I agree something needs to change, but not for Ben Simmons, dude. Like, I will stand my ground on that.
No, I wouldn't want to give up Jaylen Brown for Ben Simmons. If
Oh.
we can keep all
I
three of those
wouldn't-
guys,
I wouldn't hate it.
if we could somehow finesse all three of that,
We don't. But then, so just from a value standpoint on Ben Simmons or Jaylen Brown, even if we're moving the pieces, even if you take names completely out of it, value Jaylen Brown, Ben Simmons. Why would you downgrade? Why?
Well,
Like, where is the
not
benefit?
it's not just straight up though. You're probably
Well,
getting more.
We don't know. We don't know.
That's
We're
like
hoping
this-
we get more.
Yeah, it has to include Jaylen Brown. That's the big centerpiece that they want. But
I don't know what
They
else on
know,
that team
but
would make
they
it
kn-
worth it.
all I'm saying is they know that they're trading for Jaylen Brown, their team's gonna get better offensively.
oh well, yeah, you had a guy that's actually
Exactly.
playing.
But if you can get Ben Simmons and then another depth piece on the bench, so you don't just have Richardson coming off the bench doing his jump shot that looks like I don't even know what that is.
I
It
might
goes
go.
in.
I might
Okay.
go look at salary caps, like trades between the two, and when we're editing, I might give you numbers to throw in, to see like ways we could make this work with like specific players. But I mean, I don't know. Jaylen Brown's got a decent. Actually, Jaylen Brown's getting great money for
it's a
what he's
decent
getting.
contract, yeah.
So his contract is really good for the player that he is.
yeah,
Ben Simmons is getting fat money, and I don't think all right. I don't know who else you can move around and like make contracts work. Tyrese Maxey's on a rookie deal still, but he was like the 15th pick, 12th, 15th, something like that.
yeah.
I would want to make the trade happen where we get to keep all three. That's the only way I would want
See,
to.
If we keep
okay,
all-
now, don't be wrong. Now that's
that's-
getting greedy. That's getting greedy.
We've been saying those kinds of trades for the past 3 years. This is why we missed out on AD. This is why we have missed out on. We could have actually had Kawhi.
Yeah.
You remember that, but
Yeah.
we didn't want to give up Brown in either one of those.
Could have had Butler.
My point exactly. This just
Missing on Kawhi sucks. I would say missing up on Kawhi that sucks.
I mean, granted, there's no.
Yeah,
there's
but
no
Kawhi-
guarantee-
but-
there was
but
no
this
is the
guarantee that
benefit
AD
of
or Kawhi
hindsight.
would have stayed. That's a whole thing.
But I say, but the beneficial of if Kawhi stays, and if Ben
But
Simmons
all I'm
stays,
saying is
I think Kawhi is more
we
valuable
have
asset.
to, as a franchise, stop saying that. We're not going to make a we all at least I've been on this train of this trio, if you want to call it, needs to be broken up for a year plus now.
They just haven't made a trio. Who's this third mystery man?
They throw in Marcus Smart all the time. They make him.
Oh
puck
God,
numbers.
no, that's
Hey,
that's not
hey! Did you see the fucking air quotes?
okay. Yeah, I was like,
Thank
that's
you.
not a big three.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I'm blind.
but do you remember when they disrespected Marcus Smart and then the next week made it a point to say, "Oh, he's the heart of this team," blah blah blah.
Which I think at one
And
point
this
he
is-
was.
Yeah, that's my point.
Still
He
might be.
shouldn't be anywhere close to that.
Why, though?
With the ITs
Why
of the
he
world,
bothers me.
Why? But he's not a bad person.
I'd say he's a bad person.
He's not
But
a bad
he-
leader though. I think his
might
biggest
be.
I
He
think his
might-
biggest
dude,
problem.
Dude, his biggest problem is he was drafted 6th overall. That's his biggest problem because his ego has been through the roof ever since.
I think he fit better with the IT when last time IT was here. I think that group's mentality is
Because
so
IT
much
was
different.
The point guard, and it wasn't
No, but I get that.
That's a
But
totally
no.
different team.
I know, but But that's my point exactly. I feel like the mentality and characteristics of this team is so different than that, and I just don't know if Marcus Smart's
They had
mentality.
underdog. They had
He was
underdog
also-
mentality.
he
And
was-
now we have guys that are like, I'm not an underdog. I'm Jason Tatum. I'm Jaylen Brown. Where it's like, let's go. I
That
wouldn't
was
even put
also
Jaylen Brown.
Smart's rookie in second season, I think. So
Yeah.
he didn't have this like
He wasn't.
aura
He was 19.
about
20.
him. Yeah, and keep
Really,
in
was he
mind
that young?
They're all that young when they get
Yeah,
drafted.
they're-
No. But I just
19 to
I
like
didn't realize
21,
Smart's
22.
still that young.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, keep in mind, this is where I think I lean more towards Smart being the issue. I know I said Brown earlier, but I'm saying is we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But I said, but this is why I think Smart is most likely the problem in that locker room. Go back to the comment he made after the loss to
Is
the
this
Bulls.
this where he's like, I can't do anything standing in the corner?
Yeah, we basically told Tatum and Brown to pass more, but like it kind of got skewed because all he was really saying was to pass it more, open up the floor for those two. But
Well, that's the thing.
but then he was talking like he was a 12-year NBA vet. Like, look at the other comments. He was like, "No, we're really proud of their progression, all this other stuff, blah blah blah. This that we're proud we're helping them learn, all this other stuff." Dude, you were drafted a year before Jaylen Brown. A year before. Do not talk to him like that. That's like
weird.
Yeah, that was like I think about it. I compare it to my work all the time. I had a supervisor.
That is all right.
I had a supervisor
know
who brought me, who asked me to come talk to him.
It's like talking like
up in
you're
this room,
talking like you're
upstairs.
That
And
isn't
he goes, so why didn't you put these like tables away? I go, I was only told to like bring them back here. He didn't tell me to put them away. He goes, and he looks at me and goes, sometimes you just need to take the extra step. He was a year older than me. A year. If we could have went to school together,
I would have spit in his mouth.
that's what I mean. And we were standing at the top of concrete stairs. He's lucky I didn't Sparta kick him down them. Okay, but if we could have went to school together, act like it. Do not talk to me like you're 20 years more alive. I've been 20 years alive more than me. No. You're just a year older. Do not look down at me. Don't talk down to me like that. If that's what he's doing in the locker room, no shit. He's probably the problem.
Agreed. I can see that being a problem.
So if you can delay this, get Smart out first.
Oh, without a doubt,
But
I would
like I
rather give
said,
up Smart.
If we end up trading Brown in the moment, I wouldn't hate it.
I would.
I would have to see what happens.
Well, clearly, if it's a prove me wrong moment, that's what I would do the same thing.
No, that's what it
Like
is.
if Jaylen is shipped off, clearly I'd say, well, I hope this works out. Because like, why would you want to have the negative mentality of, oh, I hope we suck, just to say I told you so?
No, I would.
I would rather my
do
team
that.
do better and me be wrong than me get to go, I told you
Oh,
so.
don't get me wrong. I'd love to see Ben Simmons come out and be like, you know what? Let me play some good basketball. I acted like a child. This, that, the other thing. But nobody wants to own up to mistakes anymore. But that's irrelevant.
A change of scenery can be huge for guys. We've seen it many times in sports. I feel like a change of scenery can really bring out the best. I'm still not a fan of whiny Ben Simmons because he's been nothing but whiny Ben Simmons.
I will say, if Ben Simmons comes in and acts like a fucking kid, I feel like Marcus Smart would be the guy to be like, hey, enough. Like, they're not going to take that here either.
That's the thing. I feel like leadership-wise, Tatum would just still be like today's goal. It's like, yeah, it's Ben. It's not really my problem. It's not my craft. Where it's like, dude, you have to.
Then again, I make all these comments about like people's personal. Like, I don't know. Like, we don't know anything.
No, I know.
About these
We
guys.
don't
Like,
know.
These are
whatever the
all
media
all-
portrays.
Yeah, all media is honestly is just speculation. It's really
yeah.
a lot of what it is. Unless you're a Rappaport, Shams, Woj, those guys have information.
If they've gone to banquets with these guys and all this, and they've actually met these people and had conversations with them, we have not done that.
Yeah, we
don't know these people on that personal
We're
of a
just
level.
going off of what we've like seen. And I use in quotes. I'm using a lot of quotes today, but like that's literally what this is.
Yeah.
Like it's just if you can delay it, get rid of Smart. That's where I would start. Get rid of Smart for something like they
I feel like
just
I'm gonna look
signed
at
the
my phone.
extension.
It's gonna already be a thing.
Jaylen Brown
Jaylen
and
Brown's
Tatum.
gone. Like,
No.
like, he's just like he's already gone, and we're gonna stop recording. And be like, oh, the trade's happening.
Oh,
Like,
Bill.
dude, oh my god, this whole. I would hate this. I would hate to see him go, but off the rip, I wouldn't mind it because we actually have a point guard who then opens up the floor for Tatum. If we I just can't see two guys competing against each other. I think that's exactly what this is. two guys trying to get theirs, and they're not trying to make each other better.
I will say also, like I said last week, I watched an interview or something where Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum were like, one of them was saying, yeah, we're not best friends. Like, we respect each other, but we're not best friends. And everyone wants that.
This is a 76ers fan an hour ago. Count me all in for Jaylen Brown playing for the Sixers. He's averaging 1.28 PPP ISO scoring, which is the 91st percentile. I don't even know what that is. With a 99.2 defensive rating this season.
Either way, yeah, if I'm a Sixers fan, I hope this goes through. But as a Boston fan, I hope not. That's my final take. That's my final take on it.
I'm on the fence, but like I wouldn't hate it. That's my final take.
Yeah, if Jaylen Brown goes, count me as a fucking Chicago Bulls fan this year. So
that's fine.
Well, thanks for joining us here at Sports on Tap today. If you do like what we're doing, we do have a link down in the description below for our merch. We got some good stuff. Also, another way you can help us is by sharing, commenting, liking, subscribing, telling your friends about it.
Tell Ma, tell Dad, tell your brother.
Tell your teachers, tell everyone.
Tell your teachers.
Share the news.
Don't tell your grandparents. They have no idea what's going on.
That's okay. Don't, because then they're
You
just
know
going to
what,
bring up Bill Russell.
Are they on the Facebook?
Yes,
we
can
are.
I follow Bill on the Facebook, the Bill Russells? Is he still in the league? No, Grandpa. Just go to bed.
Is Jerry West still the logo? I love me some Jerry West.
Thanks for joining us today.